As the sun began to rise over the sprawling complex of the space agency, the 3 spaceships of the expedition Hope stood ready and waiting on the launch pad. The New Horizon, the Pioneer, and the Endeavour were sleek and modern vessels, each one a testament to the ingenuity of humanity. Inside the New Horizon, Captain Samantha Williams and her team of 3 astronauts checked and double-checked their equipment, preparing for the journey ahead. The New Horizon was a medium-sized spacecraft, equipped with a range of scientific instruments that would allow them to study the atmosphere and surface of the distant exoplanet Kepler-186f. The Pioneer, under the command of Captain Alex Chen, was a smaller, more agile ship. Its powerful propulsion system would allow it to navigate through the treacherous conditions of outer space and reach the exoplanet TRAPPIST-1e in record time. Finally, there was the Endeavour, a large, heavily fortified spacecraft commanded by Captain Maria Rodriguez. Along with her team of 6 astronauts, Captain Rodriguez would explore the exoplanet Gliese 832c, searching for signs of life and collecting data on its potential habitability. As the countdown began, the crews of the 3 ships checked and rechecked their systems one last time. And then, with a mighty roar, the engines ignited and the expedition fleet lifted off into the morning sky. As they soared through the atmosphere and out into the vast expanse of space, the crews of the New Horizon, the Pioneer, and the Endeavour knew that they were embarking on a journey unlike any other. They were pioneers, venturing into the unknown in search of knowledge and understanding. And as they flew through the darkness, gazing out at the stars that shone all around them, they knew that they were part of something bigger than themselves. They were a part of humanity's greatest adventure, and they were ready to meet whatever challenges lay ahead.
As the New Horizon soared through the darkness of space, Captain Samantha Williams couldn't help but feel a sense of excitement and anticipation. She had spent years preparing for this moment, and now, as she gazed out at the star-studded expanse that stretched out before her, she knew that she was truly living her dream. For months, the ship had been flying through the void, its engines burning hot as it raced towards the distant exoplanet Kepler-186f. And now, as the ship finally entered orbit around the strange alien world, Samantha and her team knew that they were about to make history. As the New Horizon descended through the atmosphere, Samantha felt her heart racing in her chest. She knew that this was a moment that she would never forget, and she couldn't wait to see what they would find on the surface of the planet. As the ship landed on the rocky ground, Samantha took a deep breath and prepared to open the hatch. She knew that this was the moment they had all been waiting for, and she was determined to make the most of it. As she stepped out into the thin, chilly air of Kepler-186f, Samantha couldn't help but feel a sense of awe and wonder. She was the first human being to set foot on this distant alien world, and she knew that she was making history. For weeks, the New Horizon explored the surface of the planet, gathering data and conducting experiments. And as they worked, Samantha and her team couldn't help but feel a sense of awe and wonder at the mysteries of the universe that lay all around them. They knew that they were making a difference, and that their work would be remembered for generations to come.
The journey of the Pioneer through the treacherous conditions of outer space was a harsh and challenging one. As the small, agile spacecraft hurtled through the void, its engines burning hot as it raced towards the exoplanet TRAPPIST-1e, Captain Alex Chen and his team knew that they were in for a rough ride. For months, the ship had been battered by the intense radiation of the sun, its shield struggling to keep the deadly particles at bay. And as it flew through the asteroid belt, the ship had to dodge and weave through a constant barrage of rocks and debris, its crew holding their breath as they narrowly avoided collision. But despite the challenges, the Pioneer pressed on, its powerful propulsion system driving it ever closer to its destination. And as it finally broke through the outer reaches of the solar system and entered the orbit of TRAPPIST-1e, Captain Chen knew that they had made it. As they descended through the thick hazy atmosphere of the planet, Captain Chen couldn't help but feel a sense of relief. They had made it to TRAPPIST-1e in record time, and now it was time to get to work. For weeks, the Pioneer explored the surface of TRAPPIST-1e, gathering data and conducting experiments. And as they worked, Captain Chen and his team couldn't help but feel a sense of accomplishment and pride. They had survived a journey through some of the most treacherous conditions in the universe, and now they were making a difference. They were true pioneers, and they knew that their work would be remembered for generations to come.
As the heavily fortified Endeavour entered the orbit of the Exo-Planet Gliese 832c, Captain Maria Rodriguez and her team of 6 astronauts knew that they were in for a long and difficult mission. The Endeavour was a large, heavily fortified spacecraft, designed to explore and study the most hostile environments in the galaxy. And now, as it descended through the thick toxic atmosphere of the planet, the crew knew that they were going to be pushed to their limits. For weeks the conditions on Gliese 832c were harsh and unforgiving, and the crew had to be constantly on guard against the dangers that lurked all around them. But despite the challenges, the Endeavour pressed on, its advanced weaponry and shields protecting it from the worst of the planet's hazards. And as it moved deeper into the heart of the alien world, Captain Rodriguez and her team couldn't help but feel a sense of excitement and wonder. For they knew that they were searching for something truly incredible, signs of life on an alien world. As they scanned the surface of Gliese 832c, looking for any hint of microbial life, the crew couldn't help but feel a sense of awe and wonder. They knew that if they were successful, they would be making a discovery that would change the course of human history. As the ship continued its search, the crew remained vigilant, always on the lookout for any sign of life. And as the days turned into weeks and the weeks turned into months, they knew that they were getting closer and closer to the answer. For they were the pioneers, venturing into the unknown in search of knowledge and understanding. And as they flew through the darkness, gazing out at the stars that shone all around them, they knew that they were part of something bigger than themselves. They were a part of humanity's greatest adventure, and they were ready to meet whatever challenges lay ahead.
As the 3 spaceships of the Expedition Hope made their way back through the void of space towards the Milky Way, their crews couldn't help but feel a sense of pride and accomplishment. The journey had been long and grueling, and they had faced challenges that they never could have imagined. But they had persevered, and they had emerged stronger and more determined than ever. As the New Horizon, the Pioneer, and the Endeavour approached the familiar shores of the Milky Way, their crews couldn't help but feel a sense of homecoming. They had been gone for so long, and they had seen and experienced things that most people could only dream of. As the 3 ships prepared for their rendezvous, their crews gathered in the control rooms, their eyes fixed on the view screens that showed the swirling, golden clouds of the galaxy. They knew that this was the moment they had been waiting for, the moment when they would be reunited with their loved ones and the rest of humanity. And as the fleet finally entered the embrace of the Milky Way, their crews knew that they had achieved something truly incredible. They had explored the furthest reaches of the universe, and they had made a difference. They were heroes.
As the 3 spaceships finally made their way back to Earth, their crews were greeted with a hero's welcome. After months of exploration and discovery, they had returned home, and the people of Earth were overjoyed to have them back. As the New Horizon, the Pioneer, and the Endeavour descended through the atmosphere, their crews watched with tears in their eyes as the blue and green orb of their home planet grew larger and larger in the view screens. They had been gone for so long, and they had missed their home and their loved ones more than they could say. As the ships touched down on the landing pads, the crews emerged to the sound of cheering crowds and the flash of cameras. They were hailed as heroes, and the people of Earth couldn't wait to hear the tales of their adventures. For weeks, the crews of the expedition fleet were celebrated and feted, their names on the lips of people everywhere. They were invited to speak at conferences and schools, and their faces graced the covers of magazines and newspapers. And as they spoke about their adventures and the wonders that they had seen, the people of Earth were in awe. They had ventured to the farthest reaches of the galaxy and had returned with tales of incredible discoveries and amazing sights. They were heroes, and they had inspired a new generation of explorers to take to the stars. As the celebrations came to an end and the crews returned to their homes, they knew that they had achieved something truly special. They had explored the unknown and had returned with knowledge and understanding that would shape the course of human history. And as they looked up at the night sky, they knew that there were more adventures out there waiting for them, and they couldn't wait to embark on them.